Density is a ratio, meaning we're comparing one thing with another. In this case, in density, we're comparing mass, how much matter is in the object, how much matter is in a given volume or space that the object takes up. So density is written as density is equal to how much mass per unit volume. The reason that there is so much more matter in this ball bearing than there is in this pumice stone has to do with how matter forms. When you zoom in on an atom of matter, a single element is mostly empty space. The nucleus of all atoms is very small compared to the electron field that is around that atom. The electron field is what we interact with. Because there's so much empty space in the middle of an atom, elements that are higher in the periodic table have more density than those objects that are lower in the periodic table because there's more stuff in the nucleus of the atom, more protons and neutrons. And protons and neutrons provide the majority of the mass for all objects in the universe. In science, almost all densities are written as grams per cubic centimeter. To find the mass of an object in science class, the easiest way to do this is go get a scale. If I want to find the mass of this object, I place it on the scale and read the readout, making sure that it's in grams. If not, I need to change the settings to grams. But if I'm going to measure the mass of an object that's round, it's going to roll off of my scale. Put something else on the scale, hit the tare or the 0 button, and then put your object in there. This would also work for liquid. And when you find the volume of a rectangular object, you use length times width times height. But remember, length times width times height is based on whichever side you choose to be the length, width, and height. Length, width, and height are not defined until you take the measurements and define which side is length, width, and height. But how do you find the volume of an object that's round or oblong shaped like a rock? There's really no way for me to accurately measure how much volume this has by using a ruler. It's very hard to measure how much volume a ball bearing has by just using a ruler. What we use is the water displacement method. 1 milliliter of water has a volume of 1 cubic centimeter. So to find the volume of these, I need to use one of these, a graduated cylinder. Using the water displacement method, I know that in this graduated cylinder I have about 75 milliliters of water measured to the bottom of the meniscus. I can drop my object that I need to find the volume for and just drop it in the water, wait for it to settle a little bit, and then measure the difference in the water height. In this case, the rock that I dropped in the water has a volume of about 2 milliliters, which means that it has a volume of 2 cubic centimeters. Just like if I want to take the difference between what the water level is at now with a round object, I can drop this in there, and it will tell me that the difference between my former measurement of 77 milliliters and my current measurement of a little bit over 80, I'm going to estimate that my ball bearing has a volume of about 3.3 milliliters, which converts into cubic centimeters as 3.3 cubic centimeters. There are example problems linked below. Make sure that when you do the example problems, you try to work through it yourself first before watching the solution video. Thank you for watching. This has been Justin Higgins. Have a glorious day and be excellent to each other.